नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नाम्नि नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्णा
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्णा हरे
Krishna
हरे
Hare Hare,
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama,
राम
Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Yes. Anyone would like to share what we discussed in last class, last session?
Prabhuji, we discussed that difference in the karma yogi, nishkam karma yoga and sakam karma yoga. And we also learned that the Vaishnava gets sad seeing someone else sad, but that's not on the materialistic level. It's
Mm-hmm.
mainly on the path of the spiritual evolution, that if you see someone in distress and not progressing, then you feel sad and empathetic towards them.
Mm-hmm.
And we also discussed about sthit prajna state of a devotee, that how the devotee can be like a tortoise and not get disturbed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and even if there are, I think the last text also mentioned about, even if we are seeing, eating, and doing all those activities, we always understand that it is all materialistic world, but our soul is just focused towards one goal, which is Krishna Prem.
Okay, yes, wonderful. So we covered these three verses of chapter 5, verse number 7, 8, and 9. So in these verses, Krishna was mentioning about Nishkam Karma Yogi, a person who is, there are two types of Karma Yogi. One is Sakama Karma Yogi and Nishkama Karma Yogi. So Krishna was sharing the characteristics of a person who is known as Nishkama Karma Yogi. That Karma Yogi is the one who works completely, directly for the pleasure of the Lord. He is not working for his own self. He does not want anything in return. That person is known as Nishkam Karma Yogi. And this Nishkam Karma Yogi is nothing but a Bhakti Yogi. And there was Sakama Karma Yogi, a person who in return wants something for himself. In exchange, suppose I am performing a work, but in exchange, what is there for me? For this, we try to understand with an example of a person or a government officer who is working, performing his work, but he in return wants some kind of commission or some kind of bribe. So such is the example of Sakam Karma Yogi. He works, all the ability, everything he is getting from Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. All the resources, all the ability is what is facilitated by Krishna. He is working, but in return he wants for himself. Whereas Nishkam Karma Yogi, he is working completely for the pleasure of the Lord. Alright. So we'll move forward. We'll cover verse number 10, 11, and 12. All of you please join in chanting. This is one of the important shlokas of chapter 5th. Brahmani adaya karmani
Mani adaya karmani,
sangam tattva karoti ya
sangam tyaktva karoti ya,
lipyate na saha papena
lipyate na sa papena,
padam patram ivambhasaha.
padma patram imam bhasa.
Anyone would like to chant this shloka?
Brahmani adaya karmani, sangam tyaktva karoti ya, lipyate na sa papena, padma patram ivam bhasa.
Yes. Anyone would like to chant shloka? Anyone else? Anyone else would like to chant the shloka?
ब्रह्मणे आधाय कर्माणि संगं त्यक्त्वा करोति यः लिप्यते नासा पापेन पद्मपत्रम् इवाम्भसा.
It's wonderful. Yes. Anyone else?
ब्रह्मणे अद्या कर्माणि संगम त्यक्त्वा करोति या लिप्यते नासा पपेना पद्मा पत्रम इवं भसा.
Wonderful. Yes. Anyone else? Alright, we'll read the translation. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results onto the Supreme Lord, is not attached, is not affected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. So here Krishna is continuing to share the characteristics of a person who is performing Nishkama Karma Yoga. Initially, he gave the entire definition of Nishkama Karma Yoga. What is that? One who performs his duty, surrendering the results onto the Supreme God. He performs his duty without attachment. He is performing all his duty. He is eating also. In previous verse we saw, he is eating also, he is seeing also, he is hearing also, he is touching also, he is moving also, he is sleeping also. Everything he is doing, but without any attachment. Like a person in the bank is a cashier. He is also dealing, collecting or giving lakhs and crores of rupees every day. He is dealing with the money. Huge amount of transaction is happening every day. But he is not attached because he knows that this money does not belong to me. This money belongs to the bank. Bank is the proprietor, is the owner of this money. So he is dealing with that money without any attachment. Same way in our life, when we know everything, all the things that we have belongs to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So this detachment will automatically manifest in our heart. There is no need to put any separate endeavor for it. All the detachment will come automatically into our heart. So same way, the person who is dealing with lakhs and crores of rupees of money every day, he is dealing without any attachment. We can also do our duty. A person may ask how we can do like this. We can do by developing this understanding that everything belongs to Krishna. Whatever ability I have ability to see. This ability is there to see. From where I am getting this ability? Who is giving this ability to me? There are people who are born blind. So from where I am getting this ability? This ability is coming from Krishna, and that is what Krishna is mentioning in the 7th chapter also. The ability in the man comes from me. Krishna gives the ability to all of us to perform the task, our day-to-day life task, to breathe, to sleep, to eat, to digest food. As soon as we eat food, we don't do anything but that food get digested. That food get digested. Not performing any work, but that food is getting digested. So from where it is happening is from that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Krishna also mentions in Bhagavad Gita that I am the fire of digestion. He is that fire of digestion. So when we have such knowledge, so what will happen? Whatever work we perform, that work will be without any attachment. And all then what will happen? Second thing is, we'll surrender all our result onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. By doing this, what will happen? Will not get affected by sinful action, will not get affected by any reaction, sinful reaction, will not get papa. Lipyate na saha papena. Lipyate means getting afflicted or affected by that papa. Will not get affected by sinful reaction. Padam patram ivambasa. So here Krishna is giving an analogy, just like if you have seen lotus flower, if you take out a petal of lotus flower, so that petal is such a, if you drop a water drop on that petal, it will not stick onto that petal. That water drop will not get stick onto that petal. Instead, as soon as you move a petal little bit here and there, immediately that droplet will get drift into that direction. The droplet will get drift into that direction. If you topple that, immediately entire droplet will fall onto the ground or back into the water body. So that is the one of the characteristics of a lotus leaf. Same way, a person who is performing his duty without attachment by surrendering all the results onto that Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the results onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead means what? For the pleasure of that Krishna. When he performs such work, he is, even though he is performing work, he is not at all affected by sinful reaction. He is not at all affected by sinful reaction. So that is the condition of a person who is working. We'll read the purport, then we'll understand more in detail. Here, Brahmani means in Krishna consciousness. The material world is a sum total manifestation of the three modes of material nature, technically called the Pradhana. The Vedic hymns Sarvam Etat Brahma Tasmad Etat Brahma Nama Rupam Anam Na Jayate, and in the Bhagavad Gita Mama Yonir Mahat Brahma indicate that everything in the material world is the manifestation of Brahman, and although the effects are directly manifested, they are not different from the cause. In the Ishopanishad, it is said that everything is related to the Supreme Brahman or Krishna, and that everything belongs to Him only. Ishavasya idam sarvam. One who knows perfectly well that everything belongs to Krishna, that He is the proprietor of everything, and that therefore everything is engaged in the service of the Lord, naturally has nothing to do with the result of his activities, whether virtuous or sinful. Even one's material body, being a gift of the Lord for carrying out a particular type of action, can be engaged in Krishna consciousness. It is beyond contamination by sinful reaction. Exactly as the lotus leaf, though remaining in water, is not wet. The Lord says in the Gita, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasa. Resign all works unto me, Krishna. The conclusion is that a person without Krishna consciousness acts according to the concept of the material body and senses, but a person in Krishna consciousness acts according to the knowledge that body is property of Krishna and should therefore be engaged in the service of Krishna. Wonderful purport. So here, very important thing to understand is just like here it is mentioned, everything is given by Krishna. One who knows perfectly well that everything belongs to Krishna, that he is the proprietor of everything, and that therefore everything is engaged in the service of Lord. Naturally, he has nothing to do with the result of his activity, whether virtuous or sinful. So we do see that they are in a nation. For an example, we take an example of India itself. India spends a lot for his defense, has a huge army, various categories are there. There is a border security forces there. There are various regiments are there, and there is a furthermore for executing various operations. Army is there, air force is there, marine force is there, and on land there is a particular army is there. All that is there in defense. So when they perform certain operation to wipe out the miscreants, to kill the miscreants or opponents, those who are enemies, these soldiers, they kill certain people with their weapons. So what is happening when they kill or execute such missions or operations? They are rewarded certain kind of chakras, like Vikram chakra. There are various such chakras are there. There are various such rewards are there with which they are rewarded. Same way, suppose same activity, he goes back to his home and kills a person, his neighbor. Here also, nation is having some neighbor. Some fight has happened and the soldier has killed that neighbor soldiers. Here also with the neighbor, some fight has happened. He has killed that neighbor only. For that same activity, he killed the neighbor, enemy soldier also. Here also he is killed a neighbor, his own neighbor. But killing his own neighbor, he has been prosecuted and he has been sentenced or hanged. He has been sentenced or hanged for the same activity. So same way, when we know everything belongs to Krishna, Krishna is the Sarva Karana Karanam, he is the cause of all causes, he is the proprietor, he is the Ishvara. When we know and realize this thing, that everything is what belongs to Krishna, and we perform our duty, execute our duty to keep this body and soul together. So whatever result our activities incurs, whether it may be pious result or a good result or a bad result or a sinful reaction, we have nothing to do with it. Just like a soldier who is killing, he has nothing to do with it. He is just executing nation's order. He is executing his duty. He has nothing to do with it. So same way, when we are performing our activities, simply keeping Krishna in the center for his pleasure alone, then you will see whatever results we incur, there will be no reaction for it. It's like a snake without a fangs. A snake is there, is not having poison in his fangs. So that is the way a person he has to work. That's why Prabhupada he used to tell one very nice thing, that one should be a devotee should be expert in catching the fish without getting wet. Means he's performing his duties, he's executing his responsibilities and duty, but he's not getting affected by those duties or those work. You are catching the fish, but you are not getting wet. Sometimes, fish catchers, when they go and catch the fish, they get wet, or sometimes they fall into the water body itself. They fall into the water body itself. So Prabhupada says a devotee has to be that expert that whatever activities he executes, whatever duties he executes, whatever work he performs, he should be so expert that he is not getting afflicted by the reaction of that activity. Means he should be completely absorbed in Krishna. Ma manusmrana yuddhacha, just like Krishna is mentioning, that you remember me and you fight. Why Krishna is saying like that? Because when you remember Krishna and fight, you will not be getting afflicted by that reaction. So devotees, they are completely absorbed, or they are completely working for the pleasure of Krishna. And when they work with such complete absorption, they will not get afflicted by the result of the activity. Because whatever work we perform, there is an equal and opposite reaction to it. Whatever happiness, distress, sadness we are experiencing in our life today is because of certain activity that we have performed in our past or in our past life. Because of that, we are experiencing such kind of distress today. We'll read the next shloka, verse number 11. Kaina manasa buddheya vilir indriyer api yogina karma kurvanti samva tattva atma suddhaye. So now I have a question for all of you. In previous chapters, previous verses, we understood that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. We are the spirit soul. So being a spirit soul, why we have to work? We have the spirit soul. This spirit soul has nothing to do with the matter or this body. Then why we have to work? Because here Krishna is asking how one should do work. So first of all, why we have to work? Anyone would like to share why we have to work? Somebody is working very hard day and night. So why we have to work? Yes, anyone? I'll narrate one story. Once, two friends, they were sitting on the roadside and having tea. They were taking the tea. So these two friends, while sipping the tea, they observed one dog is there, and that dog is, whenever some car is passing by, that dog is chasing that car, running behind the car, tries to overtake that car. Some of you might have experienced this in real time. I'm hoping that at least I have experienced. So they observed that second day also they came, same dog is doing the same activities, running and chasing that car. So one of that person out of these two friends, one of them is telling, I'm just thinking or wondering, will this dog ever be able to overtake? This dog is also, runs very fast. So will this dog ever be able to cross or overtake this running vehicles? So another friend says maybe, maybe not. And another friend is telling, suppose one day he overtakes that vehicle also. One day he overtakes that vehicle also. But I'm thinking what he will do by overtaking this vehicle. उखाड़ क्या लेगा अगर वो उस व्हीकल को ओवरटेक कर भी लिया तो भी क्या कर लेगा ये डॉग जो है, तो भी क्या हो जाएगा इफ ही overtakes the vehicle, क्या उखाड़ लेगा वो? He's telling, yes, that is the thing. Like both the friends, they were like, yeah, even though if overtakes, then what is the point also? He's not going to get any medal for that. So the main thing is, we forget the main thing itself. What is the main thing that we are intent to do? So now here, Krishna is teaching us how one should work or in what spirit one should perform the work. So my question is, why we have to work? When we are the spirit, we are not the body. We say we are the spirit soul, we are not this body. Then why we have to deal with the matter? Working means you have to deal with the matter, modes of material nature, material energy you have to deal, you have to work. So why you have to work? Anyone? Yes.
We have to work because Krishna is telling, Nami Parthasti Kaptapang Disulokesa Kinchin Baptam Abaptam Bhattavacha Karmani. It's chapter number 3, chapter 3, 23. Telling to Arjun, इस संसार में उनको कोई लेना देना नहीं, फिर भी he is working every time because otherwise will be smashed. So we are the part and parcel of Lord Krishna and we are in material world. So we have to work. Definitely we are, when Krishna Supreme Lord is working, every always. So we have to work also.
Okay, means I understood. Anyone else?
Prabhuji, as has been mentioned in Gita several times, that we come to this material world because we wanted to enjoy this material world. We wanted to do something, we wanted to enjoy. That's why we have got this body. And once we get the body, then we have to work as per our desires. And if we get rid of all the desires, then we will no longer come to this material world. We will not have this body.
Correct. But
So
here,
we are
Yes.
working for this body as per our desires.
We are working for the body as per our desires. Okay. Anyone else?
Bhagavad the body or the soul, both are part and parcel of Krishna. Now, body, when we work as a body has to engage, it has to engage for the pleasure of or meeting the needs of a person in his life to serve Krishna. So bodily action is primarily under the influence of the mode of nature, but it has to be engaged in Krishna consciousness in a spiritual perspective. But what exactly happens is that we remain in the materialistic perspective. So we take this concept that I am the body, I am the owner of the body. So I work for the pleasure of my own body. Now, the question that you put in is why we have to work. Now, we have to work because inaction does anything. Because in previous chapters of Gita, Krishna has already said, inaction is the worst. Action is best. But action in Krishna question is the best. From that perspective, we have to work. We have to act in an action. Now that action I will either be in the mode of ignorance or the Rajo Tattva or the Sato Tattva. That's a different thing. But action has to happen.
Correct. Action has to happen, yes. So, yes, anyone else? Why action has to happen? Why we have to perform work? We go to the office 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, return by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the evening. Then we do lot of household work. Lot of such work is there. We take some rest. Morning again, like that repeatedly cycle is going on. We get weekends. On weekends there is lot of household work. So completely we are absorbed in work. Our condition is like that of a dog who is chasing that car. So why we have to work? Anyone else?
Prabhuji, very difficult question. I like the answer of Prabhuji who said that because of desires we come here and that's why we have to work. I think logically that comes to my mind, but rest it's a very difficult question. Are we like that dog who doesn't know and we keep running, next to the car just because it's the sun comes here and we get up and it's like a normal routine to follow Prakriti, we keep doing that. Maybe we are like confused dogs who don't know what to do.
Okay, yes. Anyone else? All right. So this is the answer that Krishna is going to give in the next verse. That just I read out is verse number 11. Let us read the translation. The yogis abandon the attachment, act with body, mind, intelligence, even with the senses, only for the purpose of purification. Means a Nishkam Karma Yogi, Kayana with the body, with the Manasa, Manasa with the mind, with the Buddhya, with the intelligence also is working. Kevler, Indriya, Indriya with the senses also is working. Only for what purpose? For the purpose of purification he is working. Here in previous verse Krishna was mentioning how a devotee or a Nishkam Karma Yogi acts. He acts without any attachment, first thing. He surrender all his results. He performs his duty without attachment. He surrender all his results to that Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not affected by the sinful reaction. So such a yogi, why he is working then? He is working for the sake of his purification, Atma Shuddhaye, to purify his existence. To purify his existence. We are in this material world because we are contaminated. How we are contaminated? We are contaminated because we have a tendency that I want to be the enjoyer. I want to enjoy. We have the desire, we have this tendency that I want to be the lord of everything I survey and I want to be the enjoyer. I want to be the enjoyer. Just like you may see around yourself in a family, families are there. Nowadays, nuclear family. Earlier, there used to be a joint family, and those joint family used to live very happily, very joyfully. But now, 2-3 members are there in a nuclear family, but it's getting even more tough to manage with 2-3 people. Why? Because each one of them is thinking, I am the enjoyer. Things should work according to me. I should be the center of the family. I should be the enjoyer. And there is a saying, एक मयान में दो तलवार नहीं रह सकती. So what happens when such tendency is there in each and every family member? Then there is a friction is there. There is a friction and it becomes very tough to stay together. Earlier, if you see, look at 50 years, 60 years back, even like I belong to joint family some 20-25 years back, 15-20 people are staying together. 15-20 people are staying together and every one of them is living happily. But the moment this thought comes into the mind that I am the enjoyer, for me everything should exist and everything should act as per my own desire, then in the family chaos is there. Whereas if we consider Krishna to be the center of the enjoyment in the family, where we bring Krishna as the central point in the family, all the family relationships are centered around Krishna, we will experience peace and joy. And even though you are having family, but that family will be the cause of your purification. Whereas other case, it will be the cause of your bondage. It will become the cause of your bondage. So that is the main purpose of this human form of life. What is the main purpose of human form of life is Atma Shuddhya, purification of the self. Because we have this tendency to enjoy, to exploit. I want to be the enjoyer. I want to be the Lord. Enjoyer means what? I should be the master. A servant does not look for enjoyment. Only master looks for enjoyment. Master wants this servant should serve me. So we develop the ego of lording over. We want to lord over the things. We want to become the master. We want to become the enjoyer. Whereas servant is enjoyed. So with this, what happens? We get a contaminated consciousness and we comes into this material existence. So this contaminated consciousness has to be purified, and how it can be purified? It can be purified when we engage our mind, manasa, kayena, buddhya, everything for the pleasure of Krishna, in the Krishna's service, because Krishna is Parama Shuddha, he is completely pure. And when we engage our body, mind, intelligence, senses, everything in his service, will also be getting, every day also will get pure. Day by day will get pure and pure. We'll read the purport, then we'll try to understand more in detail. By acting in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of senses of Krishna, any action, whether of the body, mind, intelligence, or even of the senses, is purified of material contamination. There are no material reactions resulting from the activities of a Krishna conscious person. Whatever activity or a work a Krishna conscious person is performing, there is no material reaction to it. Note it down, there is no material reaction to it. Whatever work a person in general performs, it will incur some certain kind of material reaction, whether good or bad, punya or papa, it will incur that. But a person who is Krishna consciousness, a person who is a devotee, whatever action he may perform, it will not incur material reaction to it. Therefore, purified activities which are generally called Tadachara can be easily performed by acting in Krishna consciousness. Sri Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu described this as follows. Iha yasya harar dasya karmana manasa gira nikla swa api avasthasu jivan mukta sa uchyate. Jivan mukta means a person who is liberated. So how he acts? A person acting in Krishna consciousness, or in other words, in the service of Krishna, with his body, mind, intelligence, and words, is a liberated person even within the material world. Although he may be engaged in many so-called material activities, even though he is performing so many material activities, He is also constructing some building. He is also eating. He is also sleeping. He is also doing certain works. But he is completely absorbed in Krishna. He is completely, whatever work he performs with the body, mind, intelligence is centered around Krishna. So he is not at all inflicted with the material reactions. And such person is liberated even though he is Jivan Mukta. He is in this material world, then also he is liberated. Just like a person, suppose there is a prison house, jail is there. In that jail, two categories of people are staying. One who is a prisoner and one who is looking after the administration. There are certain, jailers are there who is taking care of that jail. There are certain guards are there who is taking care of this jail. So even though guard is also eating, that prisoner is also eating. A person who has committed some crime, he is also eating. This person is also eating. He is also sleeping. He is also sleeping. Activity is same. Both are doing the same activity. But this person, even though he is in jail, he is liberated. He is free. Another person is not free. He is in the jail. He is sentenced. He is behind the bars. So that is the difference. That is the difference. He has no false ego, nor does he believe that he is in this material body, nor that he possesses the body. He knows that he is not this body and that this body does not belong to him. He himself belongs to Krishna and the body belongs to Krishna. And he applies everything produced of the body, mind, intelligence, words, lives, wealth, etc., whatever he may have within his possession to Krishna's service, he is at once dovetailed with Krishna. He is at one with Krishna, is devoid of false ego that leads one to believe that his body, etc. This is perfect stage of Krishna consciousness. So a person who has this understanding, or who is working upon this understanding that everything belongs to Krishna, even I myself belongs to Krishna, this body belongs to Krishna, this mind belongs to Krishna, intelligence, everything belongs to Krishna, has to be detailed in his service. So even though this person is working, is completely devoid of false ego. What is false ego? Ego which is not true. What is our real ego? Our real ego is Jivera Sarupoye Nityera Krishna Das. We are part and parcel of Krishna. That is our real ego. That is our real ego. But when we forget that, so what we do? We acquire the false ego. And what is that false ego? I am independent of Krishna. That is the false ego. This body belongs to me. This is the false ego. So, this is the false ego. And we work under the garb of this false ego and we get implicated in this material world. Whereas when we develop this real ego, what is that real ego? Real ego is we belong to Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. We are for his pleasure, we are his part and parcel. So even though we are performing any material work, we are not implicated with his reaction. We are not implicated with his reaction. We read the next verse. Yukta karma phalam taktva shanti mapnoti nashtikim ayukta karma karera phala sapto nibadyate. So here in this verse, Krishna mentioned how he performs his duty. Nishkam karma yogi, how he performs his duty. Second is why he performs his duty. Why he performs his duty. Third is after performing his duty, what is that he is getting? This is what Krishna is going to tell in this verse. Such a person, after performing his duty, what is that he is getting, even though he is a Nishkam Karma Yogi, but by default, just like, by default, there is a byproduct to it. So by default, what is the thing he will be getting? That is what Krishna is going to share. The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace. Nashtikim shantim apnoti. Apnoti means attains. Nashtikim means without any deviation. Shantim means peace. The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the result of all activities to me. Whereas a person who is not in union with the divine, who is greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled. Just like I gave earlier also an example. Suppose there is a supermart or some grocery store is there, and onto that store there is one cashier is there at billing counter, and this supermart belongs to certain person. There is an owner of it, and this cashier is just an employee. So this employee works 8 hours, 10 hours a day, do lot of billing, receiving lot of money, and at the end of the day, he thinks this money belongs to me because I am the one who is working from the morning to evening or to the night very hard. So entire money, this money belongs to me. So what will happen? Because of his greed, he will get entangled. He will be prosecuted. It will be considered as a punishable offense. Whereas another person, he is also doing the billing from the morning to the evening, but is completely union with the owner. He is completely aligned with the owner. So he knows whatever billing I have done in against the billing, whatever money I have received, this entire money belongs to that owner. So at the end of the day, when he is going back to his home, he will experience that peace, and peacefully he will sleep. Another case, because he has steal this money out of his greed, even though he has done his hard labor, he is considering this is the fruit of my hard labor. He will not be having peace of his mind. Will not be having the peace of his mind. Once there were a group of some thieves, and these thieves, they made a plan to rob a house, and that house was quite rich person, very filthy rich person. So they thought, after robbing this person, we no need to perform this act of robbery in the future, because we'll get huge amount of money, that there is no need to perform any robbery in the future. So these 3-4 robbers or thieves, they went in the middle of night and they robbed this house and got that huge amount of booty, huge amount of money they got with them. So when they got this huge amount of money, Now they came to their place. These 3-4 robbers are there, thieves are there. Now, point of discussion is this money has to be divided. This money has to be divided. Among them, now the discussion is going on is I should get this much percentage, I should get that much percentage. I have done work hard more, I have done hard. One person is telling I identified this house, it was my idea, so I should get more money. One person is telling no, I was the first one who entered into the house, I took the risk. Third person is telling I opened that safe. Without my intelligence, it would have been very difficult or tough to open that safe. So I should get more money. Like that, they are fighting with themselves, and all that is happening because of the greed. So that is what is a thief. They want to be honest, but they are not honest with their own self. That is known as honest thief story. They're not honest. Same way, when we are not honest with the work that we perform, honest means what? Honest means one thing is just like in a company you are working, you work very honestly. That means an honest employee will work. Okay, I am supposed to go to the office 10 o'clock. I am reaching on time. I am, very meticulously. I am working from the morning to the evening, not spending just like there are employees who's, talk on the calls for an hour or so with their friends, relatives, family members. Like that, they spend the entire day and they tell that we have worked very hard for the entire day. But honest employee will work meticulously for the company. Same way, when we know we belong to Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. So honest working is everything should be dovetailed for the pleasure of Krishna. That is the honest way of working. But out of our greed, we became the thief. We become the thief. And we are fighting with our own self day and night. Fighting with various anxieties. Oh, I should get more. I've got this much only. Today I have 100. Tomorrow I should have 150. So we develop such anxieties. And these anxieties are simply out of our greediness. We'll read further this purport and try to understand in detail. The difference between a person in Krishna consciousness and a person in a bodily consciousness is that the former is attached to Krishna, whereas later is attached to the result of his activities. Just like during Mahabharat war, the Pandavas, they were completely attached to the Krishna. For them, in and out, whatever they know is Krishna. Whether they win or lose, everything is Krishna. Whereas for the Duryodhana and party, for them, only thing is we want to somehow take over this kingdom, win over this kingdom. We want to capture this kingdom. This is what is going on in their head. For them, pleasure of Krishna does not matter at all. Read further. The person who is attached to Krishna and works for him only is certainly a liberated person, and he is not anxious for the fruit's rewards. In the Bhagavatam, the cause of anxiety over the result is of an activity is explained as being due to one's functioning in the conception of duality, that is without knowledge of the absolute truth. Even Bhagavatam says that all the anxiety that we face in our life, nowadays this anxiety or depression has become a global issue. More than now a lot of psychiatrists are required in various so-called developed nations to deal with such situations of anxiety, depression. Various young teenagers, they are facing such issues related to depression and anxiety. Why? Because of this conception of duality, good or bad. Because their mind is completely attached to certain kind of fruit, certain kind of reward, certain kind of result. Certain kind of reward, certain kind of result, their mind is attached. And how their mind is attached? Because since their childhood, they have been trained in particular way to think. They have been trained in that way, that this is what success means. This is what success mean to them. Success means you should have nice, huge, big bank balance. You should have bank balance. You should have this nice luxury house, car, this and that. You should have. So this is what the definition or mentality they developed over a period of time for the success, for the result, for the reward, for the fruit of their activity. But when they see in their endeavors they are not getting these things, they are not getting good marks, they are not getting certain position, they are not getting into the merit list, they get anxious, they get depressed, and at the end of the day, some of them go to extreme steps and commit suicide. We read further. Krishna is the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead. In Krishna consciousness, there is no duality. All that exists is a product of Krishna's energy, and Krishna is all good. Therefore, activities in Krishna consciousness are on the absolute plane. They are transcendental, have no material effect. One is therefore filled with the peace in Krishna consciousness. One who is, however, entangled in profit calculation for sense gratification cannot have that peace. That is the secret of Krishna conscious realization, that there is no existence beside Krishna is the platform of peace and fearlessness. So here Prabhupada has made very nice conclusion. One who is Krishna consciousness, he will be completely filled with the peace. However, a person who is entangled with what? Entangled for calculation of sense gratification. Whether in return I will get my satisfied senses or not. In return, my senses should be satisfied. In return, my mind should be with peace. In return, I should be happy. Whatever work I am performing, in return, I should get satisfaction of my eyes, of my tongue, of my nose. Suppose I am seeing some movie or something, certain form. In return, my eyes seeing this, they should be glittering. There is a glow in the eye. If you see something nice, you can see that glow in the eyes. By hearing something good, you will feel a sense of satisfaction. So currently our any work that we perform, currently our calculation or our basis of performing any work is whether my senses are getting satisfied or not, whether I'm getting some, feel good or not, whether I am experiencing some high in myself, certain kind of kick, certain kind of highness, certain kind of emotionally feel good or not. This is our basis of performing any work or not. Whereas our basis of performing work should be for the pleasure of Krishna. If I am studying so that I can get educated, I can serve Krishna in more efficient way. That is the purpose of my study, so that I can distribute this knowledge to others. So when we bring the beneficiary of all our activity as Krishna, satisfaction of Krishna, you will experience unadulterated peace, because you are offering all the result of your activities to Krishna. Because you know in and out, Krishna is the supreme proprietor of everything. He is the cause of all causes. So you will experience that unadulterated peace. But if you take that credit onto yourself and you think for your own sense gratification, for your own sense enjoyments, because these senses are matter, these are jada vastu, these are the material energy. You are dealing with the material energy, you will get entangled with it. You will get entangled with this. So with this, we'll end here. Anyone has any question or anything to share or ask, please feel free to share or ask. Yes, any questions? So we'll close here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki,
Jai,
Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Hare